Coming in at number 23 on our organizational value rankings, it's Tyler Boucher, who injuries just did not allow him to finish the season, unfortunately, but we spoke to him at Dev Camp. Shoulders 100%. He's skating. He's ready to turn pro. And I think the pro game is going to bring out the best in Tyler Boucher.
Oh man, there's not many guys in the Ottawa Senators organization that we're cheering for as much as we're cheering for Tyler Boucher. Yeah, Ross has the 67s hat on.
Just a good dude.
That's the thing. He's such a good kid. And I know there's that corner of the Sens fandom that like to dog on him and trash on him, which is the weirdest thing to me because they obviously haven't met him. They haven't spent much time learning about him. Like
they haven't even seen him play hockey.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, unfortunately, I hate to do this, but the big thing with Tyler Boucher is his injury concerns and the struggles he's had staying healthy. And at a young age, it's just so frustrating because last year, especially Ross, he was really picking it up. He was really hitting his stride with the 67s. He was putting up good points on a dominant team that was looking to make a huge run. And I think Tyler Boucher really would have helped them in the playoffs. And then in the World Juniors, that was the time where Sens fans were nervous because everyone was dogging them. Wow, you took this guy with the 10th overall pick and he doesn't play much, or he had to switch from college, and everybody had their chirps for Sens fans. And then he goes to the World Juniors and he ends up doing really well in the games that he's there. And that was nice to see because I think that must have been a relief for Tyler too, being like, okay, on the international stage amongst my peers, I was able to hang with the big boys. So I really think that coming to Belleville is going to be just what Tyler Boucher needs, because in college, he had to reel the reins in a little bit. You can't play that physical type game. In the OHL, he had to deal with suspensions because he couldn't play his physical type game either. Well, in the AHL, it's a free for all. I mean, there's not many leagues in the world where you can be as violent and the physical game is relied upon as much as it is in the AHL. So it's going to be very interesting to watch him in this new league.
Tyler Boucher is 6'3", 205 pounds, an American kid, obviously the son of former NHLer, and Tendy, Brian Boucher, who will be back on the show. He had an awesome interview with us, though. Highly recommend going back and checking that out. It's our first ever video posted to YouTube. Funny enough, I was
true.
Because we did it probably like a month before we started YouTube, Pilsy. But I was like, this is such a great interview. I'm keeping it. We're putting it on YouTube. So you go check that out.
And he's a good-looking guy.
Oh, handsome man. Handsome family. Great people. 21 games, 10 goals, 7 assists, 17 points. Again, as you mentioned, 3 goals and an assist in 6 games at the World Juniors, where unfortunately he suffered that separated shoulder, needed surgery, and spent time on the rehab table. With that said, when you look at Tyler Boucher, I want to copy or tell you what Corey Prodman said about him. I love this one. If you did not know he was the 10th overall pick and just focused on the player, he looks like a very promising pro prospect. Boucher drew strong reviews from scouts in the OHL. He was also quite good at the World Juniors. Boucher is a highly physical winger who can be a menace to opposition players. He's good around the net, plays with pace, and has strong skill. Don't think his production will ever be the biggest selling point, but he has enough skill to be a middle six winger who plays hard and provides a unique player type to the Senators lineup. And that seems like music to my ears for the type of players that Ottawa has in their organization right now. It's just going to be like, he's going to be a pit bull for the team. It's kind of like the loyal, and he's just going to run through a wall for all the players. Now, that's where you have to balance the reckless style that makes him so unique with the injury history. And how do you find the balance to that? That's going to be the biggest question going forward.
And that's the thing, he's a young kid, right? Like, it takes time to kind of understand your body and understand your boundaries and your limits. Because for every human being, those limits and boundaries are vastly different. And there's ways that you can improve on things that he needs to. And I'm sure he's working with the Ottawa Senators and Belleville training staff on those things.
Well, I mean, he told us, right? Other than a trip home for a couple of weeks, like he lives in Ottawa. I asked him, like, doesn't it feel like home? Because I mean, he lived here 2 summers ago. He played for 67s. Like, he is ingraining himself. Same with Igor Sokolov. I love when these prospects are like, I'm not just going to show up at training camp. I have the opportunity to train at the facilities and use the gym. Like, why not take advantage of it? And I love that these two in particular have really kind of embraced Ottawa as a city.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a bonus to kind of getting to play OHL hockey in the city where you were drafted by the NHL. I think it's awesome. And I really think that Boucher is going to thrive, and he's going to be one of those guys when he does figure out his limits and how to kind of toe that line properly, that come playoff time for the Ottawa Senators in a few years, sure, you need your top six guys to dominate. But a lot of the time, look back at Stanley Cup winning teams, and it's those third lines that you're like, wow, that third line was incredible in that 20 plus game stretch in the playoffs. Like, they were the guys that kept things going. And I think Tyler Boucher can be one of those really contributing guys when it comes to playoff time.
The kind of lazy comparison, but I actually don't hate it, is Tom Wilson, right? That's what you're hoping.
A little bit. Yep.
Like just playing that physical style. I think the thing that gets lost with Tyler, and we saw this at the development camp as well, where it was Stephen Halliday and Tyler Boucher and Tyler Clevin on the back end. But at forward, Boucher and Halliday were so much better than everyone else at that camp. Maybe a Stapchuk too, but I didn't notice him as much in that.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would say Halliday and Boucher were the top tier on their own.
Boucher's shot is A+. Like, we talk about Roby Yarventi, but Tyler's probably got, like, with Yarventi, it's probably a bit more of the one-timer. Yes. For Tyler, when he's shooting off 1 foot with his wrister, man, that guy's got as good of a shot as anyone, maybe other than, your top guys in the NHL, but he's got any prospect. I put him head-to-head with them with his shot.
Yep, absolutely. That's the thing, and he's going to be a guy that he can get shots on net, and then like a good point guard in basketball, he doesn't just admire his shot; he's running to the net to get that rebound and to cause chaos in front and create more chances. So big year for Tyler Boucher, and there's a lot of reasons to be interested in the Belleville Senators this season. If you're kind of a fan of the Ottawa Senators, but you haven't really dabbled in Belleville, now's the time.
It certainly is. Now, one thing I'd like to see him work on a bit is playmaking and maybe vision. I feel like sometimes he gets a little focused on, like, hey, I just got to go. It's like, take a look. If you got time, use it. If you have space, use it. And I think that's just going to help make him a bit more of a creator and get his teammates involved in that sense. What's your expectation for Tyler this year in Belleville?
Again, I hate to harp on it, but my only expectations is going to be on games played. I don't need him to put up big points. I don't need him to be the toughest guy on the team or anything like that. He just needs to consistently play games. It's been years without consistency, so that's going to be my top thing for him.
If he gets 11 goals and 22 assists in 70 games, would that be a successful season?
Yeah.
Those are specific numbers. You know why?
Why?
That's what Roby Yarventi had at the same age last year in Belleville.
Yeah, so that works for me.
I think he's going to have more goals than assists. That's my hot take with Tyler Boucher down there in Belleville. I'm going to say 17 goals and 13 assists for 30 points, and hopefully it's 50 or more games. But yeah, 30 to 40 points. Like, you got to remember there is going to be a bit of a change and quality of opponent and all that.
Definitely.
I think that if he can stay healthy, huge step in the right direction. Tyler Boucher comes in on our list at number 23, down a few spots, but Pilsy, it's just about staying healthy, and he'll find his way up this list in no time.